Somewhere beneath 2 miles of ice, there is a canyon. Not a small one. This canyon stretches for at least 460 miles through the bedrock of Greenland, longer than the Grand Canyon, and in some places, even deeper. Yet nobody knew it existed until 2013, when NASA scientists used radar to look through the ice and discovered it hidden beneath the surface. That discovery raised an obvious question. If a canyon that large could remain hidden for so long, what else is down there? This is Greenland. On most world maps, it looks enormous, almost the size of the continental United States. But that's partly an illusion created by the Mercator projection, which exaggerates the size of landmasses near the poles. Even so, Greenland is still massive. Covering about 836,000 square miles, it is the largest island on Earth. Only around 56,000 people live there, most of them in small towns scattered along the coast. Beyond those settlements lies something very different: the Greenland ice sheet. This enormous mass of ice covers roughly 80% of the island and has been building up for millions of years. From above, it doesn't look like much, just an endless white expanse stretching toward the horizon. But beneath that ice is an entirely different world. The ice sheet averages about 1.6 miles thick, and in some places it reaches nearly 2 miles. Under that weight, the land itself has been pushed down. Strip the ice away and Greenland wouldn't look like a single island. The interior basin sits below sea level and would gradually fill with ocean water. What you'd be left with is an archipelago, a ring of coastal mountains surrounding an inland sea. Beneath the ice is an entire landscape: mountain ranges, lake systems, river valleys, and that 460-mile canyon that geologists believe once carried meltwater to the sea long before the ice arrived. In some places, the canyon walls drop more than 2,600 feet. Scientists have also discovered subglacial lakes beneath the ice sheet, bodies of liquid water kept from freezing by geothermal heat below and immense pressure from above. Ice cores drilled from the sheet in the 1990s captured air bubbles from snowfall dating back more than 110,000 years. Those bubbles are among the most detailed climate records anywhere on Earth. But the ice isn't just covering ancient landscapes. It's also sitting on top of something that geologists and mining companies are becoming increasingly interested in: minerals. The exposed rock along Greenland's coastline contains some of the highest concentrations of rare earth elements found anywhere in the world. These are a group of 17 metals used in everything from electric vehicle batteries and wind turbines to fighter jet electronics and smartphones. One site in southern Greenland near the town of Narsak may contain one of the largest rare earth deposits outside of China. The same deposit also contains uranium, which adds another layer of political complexity. Beyond that, Greenland also holds iron ore, zinc, lead, and potentially significant offshore oil reserves. The full extent of what's hidden beneath the ice is still unknown, but the estimates are large enough that governments around the world have been paying close attention for decades. Those resources are one of the reasons Greenland has become increasingly important on the world stage. Technically, Greenland is an autonomous territory within the Kingdom of Denmark. Denmark first colonized the island in 1721, and while Greenland gained self-governance in 1979 and expanded autonomy in 2009, Denmark still controls its foreign policy and defense. That creates an unusual situation. Greenland controls the resources beneath its land, but it doesn't fully control how it interacts with the rest of the world. And as those resources become more valuable, questions about independence have become harder to ignore. In Nuuk, Greenland's capital, independence from Denmark isn't a fringe idea. It's an active political discussion that has been growing for years. The island's strategic importance hasn't gone unnoticed either. In 1946, the United States offered Denmark $100 million to purchase Greenland outright. Denmark refused. More than 70 years later, the idea resurfaced when the Trump administration publicly floated the possibility of buying the island once again. That proposal was rejected just as quickly. But the fact that the conversation happened twice says a lot about how valuable Greenland is considered to be. And the United States already has a presence there. Pituffik Space Base, formerly known as Thule Air Force Base, has operated in northwestern Greenland since 1951. It remains one of the most strategically important military installations in the Arctic, providing radar coverage across the region and giving the United States a position few other countries can match. China has taken a different approach. Rather than military presence, it has focused on investment. Over the last decade, Chinese state-backed companies attempted to enter Greenland's mining sector, and even submitted proposals to help build civilian airports on the island. Many of those efforts were ultimately blocked by Denmark and the United States. Not because the projects themselves were especially controversial, but because of what long-term influence in a place like Greenland could eventually mean. The Arctic is warming roughly 4 times faster than the global average. In Greenland, that means measurable, ongoing ice loss, around 280 billion tons per year. If the entire ice sheet were to melt, which would take centuries even under the most pessimistic projections, global sea levels would rise approximately 23 feet. But the more immediate consequence of warming is already reshaping strategic thinking. As the ice pulls back, shipping routes become viable that weren't before. The Northwest Passage, the Arctic route north of Canada that once required icebreakers, is now navigable for longer stretches each year. It shortens the journey between Europe and Asia by roughly 4,000 miles, compared to going through the Panama Canal. Whoever has a presence in the adjacent territory has a say in what happens along those routes. That is the thread connecting all of this. Greenland is not a blank white space. It is a landmass sitting at the intersection of resource competition, military strategy, and climate-driven change. 3 forces that are all accelerating at once. Under its ice is a geological record going back millions of years, a canyon no one knew existed until 13 years ago, and mineral deposits that several of the world's largest economies are watching carefully. The ice has held all of it in place for 3 million years. As it gives way, slowly and unevenly, the things it has been keeping separate, geology, politics, economics, are starting to converge. What happens next in Greenland will not stay in Greenland.